And we're live. What's going on, champs? How's it going? It's a bit of a special little stream that we're going to do today. It's the yearly outlook. So we're going to talk about briefly what 2022 has done. Bit of alpha in terms of the yearly open, yearly close kind of thing as well. A little, but do you know how it is. Trader Daink always actually sorts you out with a little bit of alpha here and there. Good for your own strategy as well to implement that and improve your win rate. Hopefully, inshallah. So without further ado. Right, let's get this cracking. Right, what's going on, champs? Hope you guys are doing well. 2022 is coming to an end. It's been a bit of a crazy one, hasn't it? Been really nuts. Like it's been all over the place, kind of thing. We haven't had any bull market kind of thing going into 2022. It's been one drop after another drop, and it's just been tough on many people. And let's be honest as well, for most people it may have been a really terrible year. For some of us it may have been a great year. But regardless of what it is, there's a lot of things that we can take out of this year in particular, and how we can actually improve ourselves as a human being, number one, as a trader, number two, as a family member, as a community member, as everything as well. So we can always improve ourselves going forward. And I know they say new me, new this. Fuck that shit. It should always be like how you are as a character. That's you, who you are. Don't try to change who you are for anybody else itself. Screw the fucking masses itself, right? Just be you. Be blessed, be humble, be cool, and inshallah things will go well. So, what's that? I'll get this lighted up, yeah. So let's do the thingy, the afternoon. So what's going on? We got Bernard in the house. Who we got? We got Bernard. Best wishes for you too as well, my brother Bon Biggie, Jordan Doherty, Starsky's in the house. Happy New Year to all of you guys there. It's been a blessed one to have you guys here as well. Not just just finding me in the DCC. Thank you so much for that as well. It has been a really, actually speaking about the DCC, it has been really a beautiful. It has been beautiful. I gotta say, it has been a lot better than I expected. So literally everybody in the community has actually put their work into it. Some of us have actually struggled a little bit here and there, but I've always been there to actually support you guys, and it's been amazing as well to have you guys. Thank you, Starsky. Bless you. 2023 is going to be a big one. Let's be honest. It's going to be a big one. How are we going to play the market there? We got how Erez. Sorry about that. Evening to you. Got Richard in the house. John Caboose, Valet, Sebastian. We got who else? We got Zaka. Let's just close this up again. I don't know why it's just freezing up on me again. Yeah, we got Zaka. We got Derry in the house. We got Justin. Who else we got? We got Piotr in the house as well. Flipping out. Happy New Year to all you guys there. Smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and let's get this cracking as well. Before we carry on, before we start talking about the charts itself, let's just talk about us as a trader, because this platform here on YouTube that we have on Trader Daink, it's really as like we started this off back in, I believe it was in May. It was in May we started this off there, and I just want to say thank you to all of you guys there for all your support. Thank you for your subscribes. Thank you for your likes, for attending the show. To actually give me the energy that I needed there. So hats off to you. Morning. Hats off to you guys, and I wish you all the very best in 2023. 2022 has been quite bad for those who are actually holding alts, for example. Those who actually are learning how to trade, no problem. Keep learning. Keep practicing. TA, in my opinion, there's a debate that we could have with fundamentals versus TA. I'm looking to do that in the coming weeks with BTC Charlie. Really interesting as well. I got my views. In terms of FA, the FA guys have their views on TA and whatever, and vice versa. So we'll sort something out in the future as well. So, but going forward in 2023, there's a lot of things we can learn. I mean, one of the important things that you always have to do is actually journaling. Journaling is always going to be an important factor. Why? Well, it's the only way that you can actually go back and see where your mistakes are, right? So take things easy and just journal your way through as well. Make notes of what the patterns you see. These things all play a massive impact. So we talked about journaling before on the stream. We talked about it in the DCC and a bit more in depth as well. Just keep journaling as well. It's going to be tough, but we can do this as well. Who else we got? We got Tegan in the house, man. We got Morningstar, Cassandra. Good to have you here as well. CQ, Bon Biggie, Richards in the house, or Circuits in the house. We got the fucking gang, man. John Gabush is in the house as well. Valet's in the house. Sebastian. We got fucking. Let's do this. So let's get cracking on terms of this whole scenario that we've got here. So what do we have here? We're going to talk about Bitcoin, right? Talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to touch base on Ethereum. But the main thing I want you to focus on is Bitcoin, right? The Rich and White. Yeah, you're never late, man. We just started, bro. The Adam, what's going on? Good to have you here, man. So the important thing that I want you guys to always focus on, no matter what, whether it's in a bull run or the bear run, right, or thinking whether it's bullish or bearish, Bitcoin is the king. It's never ever changed. Thank you, Circuit, bro. I'm about to head out in a bit as well, so I had a trim and whatnot, clean my beard and whatnot as well. Got all showered up for you guys. For you guys, bro. That's what it is. Fuck everything else, man. Yeah, man. I'm looking good for you guys. Gotta represent. So what was I saying? I was saying, yeah. So in terms of the market itself, right? So like we've had a drastic drop itself. Clearly, as a yearly as we close, we're looking kind of shit. All right, and we're looking not kind of shit. Let's be honest. We're looking like a bag of shit. Interestingly enough, right, there's a lot of things we can talk about off this yearly candle, which we'll talk about in depth, and then we'll start talking about the little things going on forward. And this is not a trading plan scenario. Just remember, this episode really in particular is a special one in terms of what can we expect and how do we expect certain things to play out, what we're looking for, where are the potential moves on the upside, potential moves on the downside throughout the year of 2023, leading into the bull market of 2024 when the halving happens, which will be around May 2024, April 2024, around the time. It depends on how quickly they get this hash rate shit going on, right? So the mining the fucking Bitcoin, because if we get clamped, let's be honest, right? Like you got to think about it this way: if we get clamped on crypto, right, and it becomes harder for us to actually, do something about it, what happens then? Then the delay, there will be a delay in terms of like when the halving is, because it's when they can mine the Bitcoin. So it might be later than May. We don't know, but it's around that time, May 2024. That's the time we're looking for the bull season to go up. Will it go up to all-time high, right, at 69k? I don't know. I wish I did. If I did, I would tell you exactly where to buy it and whatnot. But excuse me. But in actual fact, we don't really know about smash painting, bro. You shared the Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, bro. Fuck the Charlie Chaplin look, man. Fuck that. Nah, man. I ain't an icon, bro. Adam, it's you, fam. Let's be honest, innit? Let's be honest. You're the good looking guy here. I'm just a geezer just trying to represent this channel. That's what it is, man. Finish this off later. Just pause this off there. Cool. Yeah. So there's a lot that can be talked about the yearly open, right? One thing actually, before I even go into the fuck it, let's do BTC USD. Let's go to the index. We do everything off the index itself, right? Because there's a few things I want to talk about, right? Number one, so we can see quite heavily we had like some consolidation over here, and we had an explosive move, some sort of retest and an explosive move, and then we're having another sort of retest. Are we gonna have an explosive move, which we expect in 2024? But do we expect that in 2023? That's the important thing. Is it bullish in 2023? If Daink knew Elon would be number 2, fucking hell, Empire would be number 1. Bless you, bro. Fucking hell. Focus. Well, what a geezer. Big love to you, Circuit. So we had an explosive move. One thing that I've seen recently on Twitter, right? Let me just put the log chart up so you guys can see. One thing I've seen on Twitter recently, right, is this bullshit talk, right? I'm saying it's a bullshit talk because it is bullshit talk, right? It's this. So we had a down candle over here, then had 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of up move, and then we have a down candle over here. Then we have 1 year, 2 year, 3 year up, and then we have a down candle here. Are we gonna have another 1 year, 2 year, 3 year up, and then another down candle here? That's what the fucking bullshit thing that I'm seeing on Twitter. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's how the fuck do you think that's gonna happen? We're in a different. Just bear in mind, we're in a very different state of how the market is in. We are approaching a recession. We had the most volatile of inflation in like 40, 50 years, fam. You know what I'm saying? Pound sterling has dropped down to a 40-year low. Euro has dropped down to 40-year low. Everything has dropped down incredibly insane. 40 years. We don't have much data to say that this is sufficient to say yeah, it's correct, because otherwise we should have a down candle here, then a 1, 2, 3 up move, and then a down candle here, 1, 2, 3 up move, then down candle here, 1, 2, 3 up move, then down candle here. You think it's that easy to actually trade the market? Like, to the guys who actually believe that's actually true, and the guys who are posting out there, you fucking think it's real. Because let's be honest, right? There's a lot of donkeys out there. I'm one too, right? I'm a donkey too from time to time. Don't get me wrong. We're all donkeys in our own way. But, bruv, it's not magenta. It's red. Bomb Biggie, we said it's red. So yeah, I'm a bit of a donkey too as well. Let's be honest, right? Like all of us are donkeys, in it. But end of the day, right? Do you really think it's that easy to trade this? If it was all a pattern, everyone would have sold at 2020 2021's thingy close, and then waited for 2022 to actually to finish off and start buying. Yeah, if that was fucking true, why didn't no one actually start doing that instead? Like what happened to diamond hands? All these motherfuckers out there saying diamond hands, suck a dick, man. Sorry about that. I'm getting a bit pissed off in it, right? I was watching anyway, it doesn't really matter. But it's like it's a bunch of like horse shit, man. I want a fucking down candle again just to prove you motherfuckers wrong. And then let's just blast up on 2024. I'd be quite happy with that shit, bro. But like, I don't think that's gonna happen, right? Let's be honest, right? There's not enough data for us to actually say that's correct. We've got what? 3, 6, 7, 8. You've got 9 years of data. You think 9 years of data is enough to actually say that yeah, that's a legitimate data? Why don't we go back to the dollar index? Do we have any sort of dollar index? Let's go to freaking dollar index, or let's go to S&P. We've got all these years. We've got 1, 2. Okay, we've got 3 years of down move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years of up move. Then one year down move. But what happened to 2, 3? What happened to that, motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Look at this one over here. If the ES and the S&P and Bitcoin was riding together. Look here, we have 1 year of down move, right? Then 2 years of up move. 1 year down move, then 3 years of up move, and then 1 year, bruv. What are you gonna say to me? Oh no, motherfucker, Daink. Let me tell you something. We're gonna have 1 year down move, then we're gonna have 4 years of candles because it's going from 2 and 3. Shut the flying fuck up, man. You don't fucking know shit, and you just talk too much shit. You're fucking up all your fucking thingy followers in there. I don't understand how some of these guys have like 400,000 followers, 500,000 followers, and like let's be honest, right? We know who these moon motherfuckers are, martini motherfuckers are, whiskey looking motherfuckers, thumb shit faces. But like, sorry, pirate man, I saw pirate. I gotta calm down a bit. But you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of bullshit there. Let's just talk about what the legitimate things are. Let's make plans, right? Let's make plans because we're traders. Yeah. You're right. But seriously though, I've seen this for far too long, and it's a bit annoying though. Like the bullshit talk. Let's just make a real plan and see what the deal is, right? Because as you can see, right, if I were to do from a yearly, let's do the fucking yearly. Let's start from take off the log. And let's just see what the deal is, okay? Let's see what we've got here, and let's see the market as it is, okay? 2021. We've got 2021's high. That's last year's high. And this last year's low. We smashed below it, right? Already, as a factor, we've come back down, and it's the same principle when they say, oh, this time is different. I think this time is different. It's different. No, it's not different, because I didn't really think that we're going to come to 20K. I didn't really think that. If you asked me in 2021, right? End of 2021, on New Year's Eve, you asked me, Daink, do you think we're going to go to 20K? I would have said no. I really was one of those people who would have said no, honestly. But when you're playing within the level, you have to respect the level itself. And the moment we start losing this level here and we smash, we were consolidating above this 28K back in June itself. It was just before I went to Turkey. And when I was in Turkey, we just smashed down. And then once it's come back down, you're like, well, you're going to have to respect this level here. That's number one. Okay, and after that we come into here and we consolidate, and now we're looking to close below it, so it's getting a bit scary. So when you look at price is always in a range. Doesn't matter what time frame it is, there's always a range. Okay, all you're looking for is seeing that where is the price being consolidated, where's the price coming to, where is it free falling, and what's the market structure is like. Market structure, we can say macro is bullish as long as this low, really, as long as this low here doesn't get taken out, this low here. Macro structure is bullish. Remember, lower. I think I've got a low, got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. As long the higher low doesn't get taken out, and this is a higher low. As long as this higher low doesn't get taken out, it's still bullish. What happens is you come to a lower high, then we take this out, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and it's just changing market structure. So we did this before. We talked about it in the DCC in depth. You guys should know this a bit. If not, go back to it and start looking into it. But really, as long as this low here, and in particular, I mean, we can have a fast wick up and still go back up and shoot back up. Now, I'm not saying to you guys when it comes to that 3K. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm just showing you the gist of what are the potential plays. You can't rule anything out. You can't rule out that we can go down to 12K, 10K, 5K, 4K. You can't rule it out because you're not fucking like a psychic. We got what's his name? That Sailor Moon guy. What's his name? Not Sailor Moon. Isn't Sailor Moon a freaking anime with those young Japanese girls that who got big eyes and they always got a mad ass body and shit? It's Sailor Moon, isn't it? Yeah, it's Sailor Moon. What you call it? Yeah, like what's his name? Michael Sailor. You got Michael Saylor's liquidity is at 3.5 grand. I wouldn't mind him getting liquidated. That's it. Thank you, Circuit. I wouldn't mind him getting liquidated. I really wouldn't mind it. I think it'll be funny. I think it'll be a lot of jokes as well. And then because the guy's been talking about, like, he's been buying the dip. And clearly he keeps buying the dip and he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Let's be honest, okay? So once you've taken out this low here, you've got this set of area here. See this high here to this low there? Let's just go across it. That is what you call an inefficiency or a fair value gap. We've still got a little bit more of a fair value gap, as you can see, from here to there. That's the little bit of fair value gap there, which will eventually get filled out. From a yearly perspective, that's a yearly perspective. Doesn't mean that we can't wick down and still close within this and close above this high itself. Doesn't mean that we can't do that. There's a lot of factors we need to look at, and we have to step this one by one. That's one thing. One thing, we've lost 2021 low. The second thing we need to look at is where is the current range that's playing at, right? There's two sets of range you can use. You can use 2020's high to 2020's low. That's one set of range, okay? And it just so happened, right? I believe if I, you know what? Let me get a Fibonacci here to here. Oh, let me delete all this shit. I don't know why I've got all that stuff. Delete, remove. Cool, fresh and clean, right? That's another range right here, okay? That's a range. That's a 2020 high, 2020 low. That's all it is. Nothing else. And where are we at? We're at the mid-range. We're going to expect a reaction on the mid-range. Always is in the mid-range. So I can expect there's going to be a reaction of a fuckery here, something like this. I don't even know. And it could come up to there. It could even come up to 2020's high and then deviate it and come back down. And that's mad at saying 29k. But there's a lot more that we've got to think about. I'm just talking about the yearly as a whole picture. Just as a whole picture of the possibilities that's there. Nothing else there. Get a fucking Coke. Take it, Pirate. Speak to you soon. Happy New Year, Pirate. Paul Sinclair, how's it going, brother? So that's one thing, right? So we can come into here, right? So we can range band here. I can already expect that 2020 the new year is going to be a bit of a fuckery. Now that's one thing. The second thing I want to actually I want to talk about is, do you remember we did this? Let's draw this out. Do you remember we actually, let's move that to the side now. I can't even do that. Let me just move up there. There we go. That's it. Do you remember we talked about the anatomy of a candle? All right. So the anatomy of a candle is this, right? So you got a bodily candle here, right? Then what you have the wicks. So just to recap, I'm going to talk about that and going to relate this to the yearly. Let's just say this here is the open, and then it closes as a down candle. So this is a down candle, okay? And then what happens is, in reality, what you do is, it's like the chart looks like this, something like this. It could go like that, and then it goes back up, and that's the high. And once we get back below that, candle's open, breaks down, and we start playing it all the way down on the downside, and it does its thing, and it may look like this, right, throughout the whole month for days and weeks and stuff like that. And then once we come back down, and then we come back down, and this makes the low, and it does this, right, and then we close over here, and that's the close right there. And it's just about, let's just draw this down there, and that's how the yearly candle can look like, or a weekly candle, a daily candle, an hourly candle, whatever the candle it is. You drop it down in the time frame, and what you've got is you have a picture that looks like this. You have, fuck off. Then you have a picture that looks like this. All this has happened within this one candle here. Doesn't, again, like I said, doesn't matter if you do the hourly candle. You can drop it down to the 5 minutes, and it will look like something like that. You can drop it down for like a daily candle, and from a daily candle you drop it down to the hourly, or like the 15 minutes, it will look like this. Weekly, drop it down to the 4 hours, it will look like this. Monthly, drop it down to the daily, look like this. Yearly, drop it down to like the weekly, it will look like this. That's the gist of it. That's the anatomy of a candle. This is on the downside, and the upside is the reverse of it. That's what it is, okay? So now if we relate this to where we are, let me delete this, right? And let me just focus on how the candle is, right? Because there's a reason why I'm telling you this. So this is the yearly open, right? Let's change this color into a pinky color, because everyone likes to say it's pink or magenta or whatever, right? And that's the yearly open, and that's the yearly close. If I drop it down to the monthly, right, and what it looks like this. So we had a bit of fuckery, right, around the yearly open. We retested it once, we retested it twice, and then sell off. Okay. Once we lost this low, breaking market structure, off we go. Okay. If I drop it down to the weekly, you start seeing a bit of a fuckery. And the fuckery was where? Right here. So we started off the year, pushed up, took out the liquidity, came back down, right? And then we got below the 2022's yearly open, didn't retest it, played around there, came for a retest, a bit of a deviation, breaks down, and off we go. This low, once we lose this low, sells off. Okay? Same thing. Let's drop it down to a daily, right? And then this is where we can have a little bit more in like a view of how it is. Actually, no, the run of the highs was back in was this December? Yeah, they run the highs in December. My mistake. That's my fault there. So what we had over here is got the yearly open, we pushed up. This is the consolidation over here. This is the low. Once we lose this low, sells off. We got below the 2020, played around, and we played month to month and week to week and all these previous price action there. This is a range band environment. You can say whatever you want to say. Well, that's the range low and that's the range high. And you can see this a range band environment. We pushed up into 2020's range high. Once we 2022's yearly open. Once we got played around it. What if you want bullishness? What you want to see is this high here, continuation of bullish market structure to push it on the upside. But we didn't. What happened is the pivot really was this particular candle here. Let me show you. This was the pivot. Those in the DCC should know exactly what I'm talking about. Pivots and stuff like that. We talked about this. And you can see that's a deviation resistance over here. Once we get back below the 2022's yearly open, that gives a confirmation. Break the market structure. Off we go. Back into the range. And you got to ask yourself, the fuck you doing back in the range? Play it back down to range low. From range low, we had a clean, we had a close. Let's remove that. A close below it here. Couldn't get a retest. Smashed it through. And then range banded and smashed it down. And it kept on going down and down. And look. This is the yearly close right now, right? Well, approximately, I'm giving you an approximate finger area, and the yearly close makes a low of the finger, the wick, and that's a lower wick, and we're still playing around here. Market structure, as you can see, is blatantly bearish. It's still bearish. Doesn't mean that we can't. What's going on with 669 fund? Fuck you. No one's actually thingy. Is actually gonna remove this. Come on, guys. I got mods for a reason, innit? Alright, that's cool. Saying hi right after the spam. House of O. Hey, House of O, how you doing? I'm joking. I'm messing. Could you please look at Doge on the 1 hour? Does it look like a swing value? Thank you for that, Piotr. Let me do the thing here. This is more of Piotr. This is more of a yearly outlook. If you want me to look at Doge, we can see what the timing is at the end. Yeah, we'll try and squeeze it in at the end. If not, we'll cover it in the DCC. Don't worry about that. So that's the yearly candle. So it's having that as going through that. What does that mean? If you want it, right? What's the takeaway from this? The takeaway from this is that if you want it to be a bearish candle, a bearish yearly candle, what we want to see is from the yearly open, right? So we got the yearly open right here. Let's just zoom into here. Let's say that, sorry, this is about the yearly close. We have a yearly close right here. This is on the daily now. I'm kind of making a plan going forward for next week and the week after kind of thing, right? So let's just say this is the yearly open, right? Let's just say we close here. Right? I don't know. I'm just making this up. We can safely say it's going to be at like 17k to 16k in case if we go up to 21k. I don't know what happened there. But just say right here, this is where the yearly closes, okay? What we want to see for a bullish candle, just like for a bearish candle, just like we saw for the 2021's candle we just did. If you guys missed it or didn't quite understand it, go back, ask your questions, and I'm more than happy to help out. All we're looking for is a push up in the price action, let it do its thing. See if we can take out these liquidities here. There's a lot of liquidity resting here. Do we come into this area? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it comes there, and then let it come back down. Once we get back down the yearly open, find the bearish market structure. That'll be the high. That'll be the wick of the year. This is the body. Let's send this back down to smithereens. That'll be a fucking sweet candle to play on the downside there. So the shorts, in my opinion, is where we're looking for after the yearly open. Use the yearly open as your barometer. Use that as your level. That's your support and resistance level. Just like an SR, just like a range low or range high. It's the same shit. You're just using that. We talked about weekly opens and weekly closes and stuff like that. Same thing. SC hasn't slept in 3 days because BTC didn't hit 17k. SC, man, you know what? SC is a legend, right? Like the guy, I bet you he's sleeping while trading. That's how sick he is. He can trade while sleeping and he can sleep while trading. He's on another level. So SC is something else. But look, whether SC was bullish or bearish or whatnot, I'm pretty certain the guy is actually doing a lot of day trades on the low, and he's just playing it on the day trade. bear in mind as well. You to bear I'm a student of his, so I understand how his mind frame will work. In his mind, I believe I may be wrong, right? If I'm wrong, forgive me for this. But in his mind, it's like, look, right, I've had a banging year. I killed out the fucking shorts, left, right, and center. I played some longs. I killed some longs out there. We banged it all out there. We had a lot of moves like XRP. He made 10k go to 1 million in 20 days. He had several trades where he's made loads of money on there on shorts, killing it all the way back down, right? He called out, he was one of the few that was calling out 20k actually. So don't forget that. And just because he had a bit of a, let's just say he's had a supposedly he had a bad month or a bad couple of weeks. I don't know. Supposedly, that people are assuming. Again, you're assuming. You don't know what goes on behind the drawing board. Behind the drawing board, I'm telling you, I see something else. Like he's what you see on Twitter and what you see on YouTube is not the same person that you see behind the charts. Behind the charts, he's a fucking beast and a half. But he's fucking killed it. He's fucking killed it. So he can just chill out. And I know, like, towards the end of the year, he doesn't really like trading so much towards the end of the year. It's because it's just, you get fuckery. Sometimes, you look for, because it was a down move, you look for the bullish play in terms of the Santa rally kind of thing. But it didn't really happen anyway. He said, I haven't slept yet, so it's still day one. Fucking hell, this guy's fucking mad, isn't it? I don't know, man. SE is just another beast. But yeah, but that's the yearly open, and we're expecting for a bearish candle, for bearish yearly candle. We're looking for a bullish candle. What we want to see is price get back below it, right? Let it play its thing. Maybe take out these lows over there, there's liquidity over here. Come back up, and then squeeze it back up there. Yearly open. That's a trade right there. Once we get above the yearly open, hold above it. Bullish market structure. Take out this liquidity. Push it onto these areas there, and then let's play it level to level. Take out these highs. Come into this area here, and then from there we'll see what happens. These are all the potential plays. I'm talking about a bullish play, and if he does go in the bullish play, then we have to look at it for level to level. So let's just say if I'm not saying it is, right? If it is going to be bullish, right? How do we look at it this way? Play level to level. I will be using July's low. I still would using July's low, which is July's low is here, July's high is right here. For me, it's a range bound environment. Okay, if it comes up, right, that's the low. Support, deviation. All this is support. Then we lost it. We haven't retested it there. If we can get a trade all the way up to there, no problem. Just like I was saying, you play it into these highs there, into this area there. Once you get above there, let's look for the retest. Now, what you'll be looking for is, in particular, is once we come to range low, you're seeing that if it's gonna hold above it, bullish market structure, keep going to the next level. Target 1, target 2, mid-range, go to range highs into this area of consolidation, and we'll see what happens. You're playing it level to level, right? That's one thing. If it's a retest, it'll come up. There, do fuckery. Once we get a bearish market structure, see difference in market structure there. Price is pushing down. That's your short. This is your invalidation, for example. Play it back down, level to level. And once we lose these lows, then we can play down lower for lower prices, which we'll talk about in just a moment. We're just talking about just the brief outlook that we're looking for. That's the one thing. Now, remember, if we step into this range, yeah, I'll be quite happy to say, yeah, 21, 22 will be the mid-range, and then we play it up to level. And then that will be the deviation. And this, saying that, this in 2024, right, 2023, could be the full, let's just draw this out. This could well be the accumulation. This could well be the accumulation. And if it is a day trade, I'm happy that day trade is all the way up to there. Let it do its thing, a bit of stop run or whatever, come back down, play back to the mid-range back to range low, and let it do its deviation or support. Once it holds above it, take it. And then this can well be a full-on accumulation in 2023. I'm just saying a possibility. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but I'm expecting. Well, I'm expecting different things. I'm just showing you the potential plays that's possible out there, right? And then this could well be the low. I mean, I have to say that. I don't, from a trading perspective, I think we go lower. I believe that we go lower, but I'm not going to share my belief onto you guys and force it onto you guys. This is more of an opinion where you guys can actually use this as a basics to. For a second, I thought I went offline for a moment there. Yeah, I know you're not when I want to do a stream. Apologies for that. Just give me a second there. Let me just write this down over here. Make sure it's because I got the YouTube stream running at the same time. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's just playing up a little bit. Sorry about that. Apologies. But yeah, I've got family sticks to family. Anyway, so that's a potential trade. That's a potential trade there. And then if that happens, we'll talk about that, the weekly trades and whatnot. But going into the yearly, right? This is where I want you to start focusing on. Okay, it's this. If I were to let's do like a bit of a bias, not a bias, like a top down analysis, right? So we know, right? There's several things we talked about. 2021, 2022 being a range. Okay, so let me drop this down. Let me drop this down to a weekly. Let's do a weekly. Let's not fucking do that too much there. And as you can see, that was a low, right, of 2021, of 2020, and that was a high of 2020. Clean smashed above there, and we got all these inefficiencies over there. Loads of inefficiencies there. I want them to be filled out. We'll talk about that later, like step by step. But I'm just showing you different plans of how you can use different ranges. Thank you so much for that, Phil. Florida man, so I'm sure SC is just Florida man. So yeah, what we're saying is that we've got 2020 low, 2020 high, and so we pushed up all the way up there, found support, right, pushed up higher, and then we found support there, then we lost it completely, and we shot all the way back down to the range, to the mid range. So like I said, back at the mid range, you can expect a bit of fuckery. Now in the mid range, right, this happens, right? We could actually come back up there, whatever it wants to do. Let it do its thing, just like that plan that we was talking about, like going back into 2020, into the July's low. The moment it gets back below here, breaks market structure from these lows over here, then I can start looking for simple targets. Targets there will be like this from here, from this high here. That'll be the first target, around 12.5k. From there, right, then we can come back into probably the 25% of the range, which comes around 10k. These are all areas I'm quite happy to start looking at, like potentially buying Bitcoin. Not all of it, but potentially buying Bitcoin, because what I want you to focus on is, what if we do something like this? Come into here, we bounce off this, right, in this particular area here. If you guys can see, got a piece of consolidation right there, which we blow up there. Once we step back up, shows bullishness, play it back to the mid-range, and we find resistance of the mid-range. And then what happens? We play it from low to high, high to low, right? So then if it does do that, breaks down below here, and this will be your confirmation. Because here you can take a trade from there to come back into the 12.5k area itself and whatnot. And once we lose this block over here, this 10k area here, then what happens is, it looks like an all-out warfare. What's going on? What's going on? Is it really gonna fuck with me today? Nah. I do apologize if he's messing about. I really do apologize for that. Kind of a bit annoying that it's happening there, but anyway, yeah. So thank you so much. I don't know what's going on with the internet. We'll try and squeeze this up quickly, and then we're gonna end this as well, because I'm having issues with the internet lately. I've bloody upgraded to 1 gigabyte too. So anyway, screw that. Thank you, Phil. So yeah, so I was saying, yeah, isn't chilling today. It's freaking having a party today, isn't it? So yeah, I was saying that when it came to BTC, right? Like, we know, for example, right, if we do come back to the mid-range, right, bounce off here, a lot of people are going to be buying over here around this area, that 12 and that 10k area there. Is that where to buy all of your Bitcoin is? I'll be buying some, right? But I would like to see confirmation, and I'll show you what I mean by confirmation. So if it comes back down as a day trade, right, and we do a deviation of the mid-range, I'm happy to trade this back down to 12.5k. Confirmation for lows, right, is this area. Once we lose that 10k, I think that 10k low, then we can play it back down to potentially into these areas here. Obviously, as a day trade, you'll be targeting this particular low over here. That's an SR point of view, which is around 6,500, 6,500, and then if we lose that, 3,800. These are potential targets there. I don't know. I'm not saying that's a fact, but I'm just saying that hodl. It's the stream. The stream is being a little bit of a shitty one. I don't know what's going on today, but yeah, this is like that's a potential play. I'm not gonna say that that's not right. I don't know, but these are the plans. I'm ready to take leverage plays, and at each level, I'm gonna start buying Bitcoin in small increments, not as a whole 100% all out bagging it all there. It's small increments. We do this step by step, because at the end of the day, like, if price were to go lower, I'm happy to start DCAing now. This is when you start DCAing over here around the here, this particular area. We'll talk about that in just a moment there. Compared to DCA over here, the ones whoever told you DCA, tell them to go suck a dick, because they fucking got it wrong, right? Absolutely the complete nonsense, if you ask me. But anyway, fuck these guys. Another thing, right, that we're looking at, right, is a range bound environment. So that's the 2020 range, and then let's talk about this particular range that we got here. We got the high in 2017, swing highs and swing lows. That's what we're going to use, right? And let me just bring this across like that. Now, all I'm using is like, you guys have seen me use like different ranges and whatnot. This is one swing high, swing low. That's all it is. And as you can see quite clearly, this is quite clear as daylight in terms of how the market has reacted. I always look at what the mid-range does. To me, let me have, light up my cigarette again. Smoke this up and get some more juice flowing in me. Interesting to run a fib from 2021 open to 2022. 2020. I'll have a look at that. I don't think it makes a difference. To be honest, like, than what you're saying to me, but interesting to run a fib from 2021's open to 2022's open. It's way above us, bruv. You do know 2022's open is here, because 2021's open is we're basically below the 2021's low open. I'll show you just to prove it to you guys. What you're saying to me is running an open from here to 22's open. That's the range, bro. We lost that a long time ago. Like, that's not really the concern right now. Like, right now, what we're concerning is where we are right in this particular area here. You've got to always remember, price is always in a range, whether it's into 2020's range or this range, the swing high, swing low range. Okay, or you can use this fucking 2017 range. That's another fucking point you can use. But I'm gonna just use swing highs, swing lows, and then as the time goes on, we can actually 2020. Yeah. So basically, what you're telling me is this one here. Let me show you. Let's have a look. So you're saying to me, from here to here, that's what you're saying to me, right? And it does look like we're broken the mid range. But what I'm saying to you is use the whole freaking, like, which I just did a couple of minutes ago. I just used the whole candle, including the wicks, and we're just at the mid range. So I'm expecting fuckeries as well, which makes sense for the yearly open, that we're gonna have a little bit of a consolidation. It's gonna be a bit dead for the first few days. You have to remember, it's a holiday. We've got bank holiday on Tuesday, bank holiday on Monday. You got bank holiday on Mondays and Tuesdays, so the market ain't gonna run that much. Dollar index, I don't think it's gonna open till Tuesday. I think, yeah, Tuesday it's gonna open. So there's not gonna be much going on going forward in the first few days, especially the first week after NFP. Then we had that volatility, and then we had that move itself. So going back to where we were in terms of the weekly, let's get that range back in again. Where the fuck are you, bro? There you are. So let's just zoom out again. So what we got here is swing low, which is about here, and the swing high, which is over here. Okay. As you can see, right, we've come this 2020's high, right? This 20k high. We found resistance over here, smashed above it. All this, we had loads of inefficiency here. We filled it out. We filled it out there. Done. Okay. I don't really care about the inefficiency on the upside. When it's a bullish market, we'll fill it up on the upside. We don't need to fill this out now. Otherwise, we should have been filling this one out there, filling this one out there. But why did we leave this one here on the bull market? No one gave a shit about inefficiencies on the bull market over here. No one gave a shit about inefficiencies on the bull market over here. But you're going to start talking about inefficiencies in the bear market over here. Bruv, shut the flying fuck up, bruv. Just take it one step at a time, right? If you don't know how to trade, you need to take it easy, right? Don't have an opinion. Just watch. So what we got as, I'm using that range band environment. I've used this swing high and this swing low here. What we can clearly see is that found support, bit of a deviation, pushed up, right? Of course, reactionary period, because that was the previous high. It's a previous range high. Come back up, find support, start pushing up. Lower highs. Come back down, find resistance, try to push up, comes back down. We shank down completely, making lower highs. The market structure on the weekly is bearish. It's completely bearish. Where would I start saying that, okay, we've got a potential for a move on a bullish momentum is if we break these highs here. Then I can say, yeah, we can run into this area, run in these highs there, and look at filling out inefficiencies and whatnot. That's the only way I can actually start saying, yeah, we're going bullishness. So I'm quite happy for a push up, right? Speaking about freaking 2021, for a push up into this range high, 20k. Let it do its thing. Come back down. This high holds. It might do a swing failure. I don't know. It might do a swing failure. If it does, it does. And once it comes back down, bearish market structure, take the trade. Off you go. Hard stop over here. If we do a swing failure, take the hard stop over there. Play it back down as a swing, a mega swing. 25 to mid range, and we'll see if we can go to 25 and then range low. I don't know. But like as a mega swing trade, I'm quite happy to go to 11,500. I'm really happy for that. So that's a potential move, which means I'm looking for a push up in the beginning of 2023. I'm going to start leaning bullish short term. Only short term. Once we come to 20k, right? Remember, it's resistance. When it's at resistance, don't fucking start looking for don't start looking for fucking longs. Don't long thinking. It's funny though, in the bear market, it's the only time you can short resistance is in the bear market. Short support is in the bear market. The only time you can support long resistance is in the bull market. Obviously, you wait for confirmation as a trader and whatnot, but it kind of works though. So you just play it one step at a time. Let it do its thing. I'm expecting a push up. I'm quite happy for the high to be at around 20k for 2023, and then we can make our way back down. That's a potential play. Now, as a range bound environment, it makes sense to come back into the mid range, okay? Because you gotta ask yourself, the fuck you doing back in the range? You're making lower lows, breaking market structure. Well, not breaking market structure. The continuation of market structure on the downside, right? As on this high holds, right? I'm quite happy for it to go back down. I'm quite happy to do that. So then and then what I'm looking for, right? In terms of, well, we'll lead to that in the next moment there. But then looking at this, right? If I highlight this, right? Let me just make this bigger so you guys can see. All right, there you go. Should be better there, right? If this is the high, right, and this is the mid range, right, and that's the range low. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring that across there. I'm gonna hide everything. I'm just gonna talk about a few things now. We know the last time an area of you can see the mid range resistance, deviation, breaks the market structure from that, breaks the market structure on there, and it shows bullishness all the way to range high, breaks the high there, and it shows up on the upside there. So we know that mid-range is a very powerful place. It's going to come into the mid-range. I'm happy for it to come back up like a normal day trade, let it go back down, play it back into the mid-range. At least a very minimum of these highs. It comes down to 12.5k. Okay. From there, it's going to be quite interesting. You're looking for like a block of consolidation. Now, the block of consolidation, I would say, I probably would use this one, to be honest. Yeah, I'll use this candle here. I probably would use this one here. Some people probably use this whole down candle here, this one over there, but I'm going to use this one just for the sake of this argument there to actually show you something. Okay, so see, let's finish, man. I don't know why I'm trying to light it up. Fucking numpty. So yeah, once we lose this low here, let it do its thing, play it back down, short it back down to the mid range, and this is where I'm looking to see how we react. Right, so it's good. I'm expecting some sort of consolidation here. So at the mid range, some fuckery, just like at the mid range of 2020. I'm expecting some fuckery over here for the new year for 2023. Some fuckery, play around here and whatnot. Just like the mid range of everything that I've looked at I'm always expecting a fuckery there. Now I'm happy to start buying Bitcoin around 12.5 to 10k. All right, 12.5 to 10k. I'm happy to start buying Bitcoin. Not all of it. My plan is very different to what others may be. I'm just sharing you what I'm looking to do. Where do you trade ES? What do you mean? Like on a platform? There's loads of platforms you can do. PrimeXBT if you want to use. I think you can use. I've got CMC markets. You can use, or you can use loads of them. You don't need to use crypto-based itself if you want to. It's only entirely up to you. I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not really gonna talk about them anyway. So anyway. So what we're looking for is that consolidation. Now this consolidation here, right? Just like we had a consolidation over there, all right? And then we had a breaking market structure. The moment you have a breaking market structure, it became the lows. This became the low here. So if as a swing trade, you can enter in with a hard stop over here, playing it back to the mid-range back to the range high, okay? And it just so happens it came back and it bounces right after. Do you really think that this COVID drop, right, was planned? Like was unplanned? I think it's a bag of bullshit. This was a consolidation over here, right? Let me just talk about that for a second. I'm not going to move the chart. I'm going to talk about this just for a second. Look at this. This was the consolidation we had for like a couple of months, right? A couple of months of consolidation. We broke out of it. See that you got a fair value gap here, inefficiency, whatever you want to call it, whatever you guys are happy. We start running up, found resistance over here, lower highs, and we got back below the mid-range. What we're looking for, the consolidation, all range low. That's what you're looking for. And what happened is, we come back down, start grinding up there. It looks like it's all fucking bullish. Like you got the COVID hit, and bang, motherfucker, a retest of that consolidation, then we push back up. I think it was all planned. I think COVID is full of shit. I you know what, like, that's my opinion. I think it was just a way to trick everyone else. There's loads of experiments behind it, I believe, but who knows? I may be wrong, but from a market perspective, I always say to you guys, like the argument against fundamentals is that what fundamentals told you about COVID. Like what, like if you had like other black swan, how are you gonna use your fundamentals on a black swan event? You can't use it. You use technical analysis, and from a technical analysis point of view, right? I think it is very, very obvious that this was the consolidation. This was a breakout. All we did is a retest, expansion, and we had the expansion on the upside, and off we go. So that's what it was, man. That's all it was. In my opinion, it's the same thing. Anyway, fuck that. So I'm expecting a bit of a consolidation here. Now I'm buying some Bitcoin over here. I'm going to be buying portions, increments as it is. I'm ready to buy more if we start breaking down, which we'll talk about in a bit. But the confirmation for me to say, yeah, buy some more and try not to miss out is when we start breaking market structure and hold above it. And then we can say, yeah, let's go all the way to 25%, 75% range. We go to range high. See if this happens like that. Do we have some wicks, lower highs? If we have some wicks, come back down. Let's retest that mid-range and then blast up one more time. Sell some over there, portion, not all of it. Come back down and then buy some over here a bit more. And I have a lot more Bitcoin than I actually have going forward than I actually really did had in whenever I start buying in these areas there. Blast off, motherfucker, and let's go. That's another plan there. But what happens if these plans don't go well? We're gonna follow them one by one. So we're talking about this motherfucker right here, okay? We're talking about going back down into this area, which I'm quite happy. What happens if price starts coming back down? Right, and it shows lower lows, and we come into this low here. We come back down, final resistance. We get a break in market structure, right? Not a break in market structure, a continuation of market structure. Then we can say, excuse me, that it makes sense because we play from low to mid, mid to low. Sorry, high to mid, mid to low. Then we went from low to mid. We had a pullback, but then really once we get back above the mid, we played it up to the high. And we did a deviation, and now we're back into this particular range itself. And all we're doing is we're gonna play from high to mid, and then let's see do its thing. If it pulls back up, it comes back down. We buy some more. If you start losing some more, then no problem. Then all we're saying is playing from mid to low, and we're gonna play in small increments and taking profits as we go. A lot of day trades to be done. A lot of there's gonna be swing trades to be played out. There's a lot of scalping, definitely 100%. But these are all the potential plays that we need to look out for and be aware of what can happen. So saying that if we are going to start breaking this market structure, we're going to break these lows there. We're going to play a lot more lower. What are the particular areas that I'll be looking for? From an SR point of view, right, I can already start saying that this will be number one. That's 6.5K. 6.5K, it came out the same thing as well. 6.5K we talked about. That's a support, deviation. We start grinding there, resistance there, sell off. Shoots up, comes back up, support. Finds resistance in the mid-range, support, comes back up. There's a deviation, you can see a resistance there, breaks above it, and then we pushes back up there. From an SR point of view, I think 6.5K makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Then we'll start looking at taking out these liquidities over here, liquidity there, liquidity, all this liquidity over there. And then we can see that 6.5K, and at 6.5K, I'm happy to buy some more Bitcoin. And that means I've got a 50% discount from what I was buying at 12K. 7K, 6.5K, don't really fucking matter. But I know I got gunpowder. Can you come 5 minutes on call when you're done? Yeah, that's no problem. Everything alright, pirate? But I've got gunpowder for there. And if I got gunpowder, I can play on the upside. It's not a big deal. So there's a lot of things. And if we start playing range bounding here and play around there and starts breaking down these lows there, bearish continuation, what do? Where's the liquidity going to be taken at? This particular low. And it just so happened it comes into this high there. So then I'll say like 4K, well, I'll say this high here, which comes into around 4,400 will be my next target. From 4,400 will be the next target. And then we can see we take out the liquidity there at 3,900. And maybe if we're lucky to liquidate Sailor, let's fucking liquidate Sailor at 3.5K, 3K, whatever the number is. And once we get back above it, no problem. If it does all this shit there, let it do its thing. Once we get back above the mid-range, hold above the mid-range, bullish market structure. If you haven't bought in Bitcoin over here, no problem. No fucking problem. You don't need to buy Bitcoin at 5K. You don't need to buy Bitcoin at 10K. You don't need to buy. We will all love to buy Bitcoin at cheap price, and we like to have people say the bottom is in, and then pin the tweet saying, yeah, I call the bottom, because you fucking call the bottom like the last 85 times anyway. So I don't fucking know when the bottom really is anyway. But once, like, what I think, like, even if you didn't buy here because of financial situations, or it could be like you were scared or whatnot, it's not a problem. Not a problem. You could have been scared over here. You know, when this COVID low, we could have been scared here. But once we break out these highs there, you shouldn't be scared. Because breaking market structure, clear breaking market structure, and we're pushing back up, which gave us the highs was about $13,800. Let's call it 14k. On 14k, you could have played all the way to 60, 63, 64k, play back down to 30k, play back up to 69k, and then, you know, take your profits, range bound environment and whatnot. It's all pretty makes sense. You have nothing to worry about. Like, yeah, clout chasing 100%. So just take it easy, but honestly, the 2023 is going to be great. There's going to be a lot of day trades there, and I'm expecting, like, my plan is, I'll be honest with you, I want to make more money than I actually did in this fucking bear market than I did in the bull market, and I don't think it's very difficult for me from like how I'm standing at the moment as well. And then I'll be ready twice as more powerful as I would have expected to be in 2024 when we start blowing up on the upside. So my view is potentially is just take this whole thing easy. Quickly, just talk about ETH USDT, and then we're gonna end this up, right? Because because remember, the main key thing is Bitcoin, right? Is key thing is Bitcoin, and what Bitcoin dictates, that's what's gonna happen to ETH. Quickly, we'll talk about ETH. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. I'll do that. I'll try and do this in the next 5 minutes, and then squeeze in the 5 minutes, and then I got a call with Pirate there. Made more in bear. Yes, Bomb Biggie made more in bear market. Fam, you motherfucker, you sick guy. I love that. Big respect for that. So, looking at the yearly for Ethereum, Ethereum looks bad too as well. But clearly, you can see we are still within 2021's low and 2021's high. We haven't taken out liquidity on the downside there. I'm looking for liquidity to be taken out on the downside there. And does it come lower over here into this area? Just like we had talked about Bitcoin, I think it had a fair value gap, inefficiency, whichever you want to call it. Can that happen as well? I think it's very, very possible to do so. So, looking at this without further ado, let's go drop it down to the weekly. And let's try to make what the plan is, right? To me personally, this is where we got. We got the 2021's low itself. The liquidity of 2021's low is about... Where's the low? Some shit over here. What was the thing you fucking... The daily. Oh, no, I can't do that on the daily. Let's go on the monthly. So the monthly came to 2021's low, December, January here. So, yeah, $744, right? So this is where the open was, okay? Let's go to the weekly. Can I do that? All right, so now I know approximately where it is. So if I just go across, sorry about this, guys. Yeah, I know where it is. It's just above that wick. Fuck it, let's just do this there. So it's around here. It's about here. Okay, this is where the open for 2021 is, and it looks like we're coming. Well, we're not too far from it. I mean, you can say to me like, yeah, that's you got a trend line there. Once you lose this trend line, what happens there? Breaking market structure. Well, continuation of market structure. Take out the liquidity over here. Go to 2021's low. And once, you know, I'm expecting a bit of reaction there. Once you come back down, play it for lower prices there. Okay, pretty simple as that. Now, let's just talk about the particular ranges at. What the range is at is this. Same thing I'm going to do. I've got loads of shit here. Let me get a clean chart. ETH USD. Index. There we go. Index. That's much better. Here we go. So we got this high here. Swing high, swing low. Simple as that. Nothing else. Nothing too overcomplicated. And let's work this out level to level. Okay. For those of you guys who actually saw $700 on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, let me just briefly explain this to you guys now. Okay. The range bound environments from this high to this low. Okay. We can clearly see that what we was having over the period of the bear market here is that this was the consolidation. This is the consolidation which led the market, which capped the market on both sides. When we get back up, resistance, get up, hold support, support. Then we push up, then we break the market structure, find support, and off we go. Mid-range, blast the fuck out of it, come up to the range high, find a bit of resistance, pull backs over here, blast the shit out of it, come back for a retest, and then blast motherfucker. And then he went up to like 4.5k, well, whichever the number was, however the high was. And now all we've done is we come back down, and it's just been one relentless motherfucking drop. And then, we had a bit of a deviation. Again, similar Bitcoin, lower highs. So again, going into the yearly open, I'm quite happy for this too. Because, but look, once you come back in the range, you gotta ask yourself, the fuck are you doing back in the range? You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be in the range, in it. Like, end of the day, right? If you're so bullish, you should be pushing up. You should be up here, you know, somewhere around here, not here. Like, you're pathetic. So again, saying like Bitcoin, I'm expecting a bit of a push up to potentially 20k. Could be. Does Ethereum do the same thing? Push up to range high. Does the lower high there? It could actually push up into here. It generally could just push up to here and still break down. I don't know. We'll work this out. Whatever the breakdown is, it is what it is. I'm looking around 14.6k and I'm also looking around 13.330. Like this particular area, it could spike up into here, breaks down. Once it breaks down over here, bearish market structure, play it back down, take out the liquidity, and then back to the mid-range. Easy trade. Or if it was to go up to range high as a potential play, could do so. Push up there. I want to see this high hold itself. Once it gets back below the range, you doing back in the range? Break the market structure there on the trend line itself, play it back down, take out liquidity, back into the mid range, and that's what it is. And you can see a flat body candle right there. You got all this inefficiency right over here, got a bit of inefficiency over there. Let's play all this motherfucking play. I'm happy for it, and that's where that $700 comes into. I think we're gonna go lower than $700. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really think we are gonna come a lot more lower. Me in particular, I'm looking for this particular area here. This particular area here at a very minimum, which comes to about $500, $500 to around $306. Let's call it $300. $500 is where I'm looking to potentially see how price goes. Now let's just focus on this particular area here, right? Now I feel that the first target, right, that we can start looking at potentially buying is around here actually, about 450 from these highs there as an SR level. Because why? We find this high, find resistance, get back above it, support, pushes up higher. So I can see price coming back down at the very minimum, right? At least, well, minimum will be these highs over here, but I can see it coming to 450. If it holds above it and range bands over here, accumulates there, I can start looking to buy Ethereum in these areas there. Once we do it, let it do so any deviation, you know, little areas we can buy in there. But once we break out these highs there, the range band environment, then we can like, all right, then cool. We can start seeing the bullish play, and this is the bullish play to add the rest of our position on around $600 or 550, whatever the number is. Looking at the price action, playing it back to the mid range. From the mid range, see how we react. If we find resistance at the mid range, it starts breaking down. Start cutting some of the trade, and let's go back down. You can rebuy some more. If we break out, and if you start selling, right, if you sold some at the mid range at $700 and you need to rebuy at $800, $900, trust me, you ain't gonna fucking care when it goes to like 4k or 3k. Trust me, you ain't gonna care, because then when you see any confirmation, buy back in, play back to range high, from the range high, see how we are. If we break up on the upside, fucking send it up, man. That's what we're gonna do. Nothing else. That's one thing. The other thing I'm looking for is this potential play. I gotta time this with Bitcoin, so I know we've got a range band environment, and if we come to the below the mid range. Because what I'm saying is coming to this here, which is below the mid-range, we're going to find some resistance. There's going to be plenty of trades to play back down. Day trades is going to be fucking beautiful. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm looking forward to it. Some people might find it boring and then move into Forex. We can do that as well, not a big deal. But there's a lot of plays to go with it. But anyway, what I was saying is, what I'm looking for, another thing, is a potential another range. So if I were to look for what's capping the market on the upside, as an SR point of view, I think it's this. That's an SR point of view, right? Let me change that to black, right? And let me explain this briefly with you guys and how we're gonna play this level to level. Okay, I'm doing this all as a whole, which I don't have to do it again. You can always refer back there. SR point of view, that's the high. See, it caps the high, deviation, and we have a breakout on the upside. The SR point of view, from that's the low, support, deviation, support. So I know this low is quite. It's important, and I'm choosing this high here. It's quite important to me because why? Well, we never really had. Yeah. So I think why? Because that high caps the market on the upside and tells me what happens. So now, if price were to come down over here, as day trades, we can day trade it all the way back down. Take out this liquidity there back into $300. From $300, if we step back into the range, you gotta say to yourself, "The fuck you doing back in the range?" There's some inefficiency there to play out. I can start looking to buy positions. Not a big deal. You can start buying it compared to buying it at $1,000. You just got it for 66% cheaper than you actually was going to pay for it just now. Some of these dickheads are telling you to buy. And once we come back down, I can expect something to come to the mid-range, which comes to potentially $200. Does it go to $200? It could be. It could well do. I don't know. It could well do. I could be wrong. But what I'm looking at is this low here. Can you see this low there? Let me hide everything off now for a moment. Okay. What we got there? Let me delete all this stuff here. Oops. This low is an SR. Support and resistance, okay? And that low comes into about $185. Support, support, we lost it. Resistance, come back up, breaks out, support, deviation, do push it up there, finds resistance off this particular order block right here, finds resistance there, can't reclaim above it, sells down there, found resistance, bit of a deviation, then sells off. And then once we come back up into it, we push back up, find a little support, come back down, shanks it down, and then when we finally get back up, it's look, see how pivotal this area is. We have a lot of chop in this area here. So then we come back up, support, pushes up there, find resistance from the order block itself, and then once we break out of this high there, breaking market structure, off you motherfucking go, breaks this motherfucking structure, and we keep going flying. So in my opinion, I think 180 is very potential, is a potential move. I'm not trying to show you like, yeah, let's be fucking bearish and whatnot. I'm just saying follow the plan. Just follow the plan as it comes, bringing that up, and it just comes around the mid-range of this particular range over here. That's a potential play. Quickly, just talk about EBTC. I'm going to call it a day. EBTC really, it looks like shit. Range band environment from this. That's the low. That's the high. And all we've got here, got a deviation over here. From low to high, high, back to low, deviation there, low, back to high, resistance over here. Let's come back that to low. Once we lose this low, where does it go? Take out this liquidity there, and we're going to play back into this particular range here. This range here, and this range here. That's the range. I'm using swing highs and swing lows. That's what I'm using. Nothing too fancy. And all it is, I can see that we come back to retest this. Again, inefficiency. Fill it out, come back over here. Let's see how EBTC reacts. If it starts breaking down, we're going to follow it, playing back to the mid-range back to range low. And that's all it is. It's just having the patience to plan this out one step at a time. There's no need for you to rush. There's a lot of opportunities for us to enter in when we need to enter in. If it breaks, so let's just say the market is bullish right now. Let's just say, fuck it. Let's just say the market is that bullish right now, and we start pushing up on the upside. What time is it now? It's nearly 5:35. Okay, cool. Let's just say the market is so bullish, and we push up on the upside now. Do you really care about actually, you missed the bottom by $500 or $1,000 or $2,000? If you're really truly bullish with the bottom of your heart, and you know that the market's going to go up on an incredible speed, and we're going to go to 100k, 200k, whatever you want to call it, some of these bullshit numbers you want to make up, right? Do you really give a damn about buying Bitcoin at by missing the low by a couple of $100? Who cares about catching the bottom? I'll tell you something. Let you into a bit of an alpha. The alpha is this, isn't it? No one gives a fuck about the bottom, because we don't know when the bottom is. Just play it one step at a time. When the market proves that it's looking bullish, when the market starts to say that, yeah, we're making higher prices, we're breaking market structure, we're showing bullish price action as well, then on a macro, not on the 50 minutes, on a macro, then you can start. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I think the Doge come down to 1 cent, and there's a number of alts that I think that needs to go down 50% of the price right now. There's no reason for me to be bullish. If it was going to be a bullish year, I'd say it's a bullish year. From a technical point of view, it's a bullish year. The technicals are not saying it's bullish. Sorry about that. That fucking virus in it. Yeah, the technical is not looking bullish, and the fundamentals are not saying they're bullish. So why should you be bullish? When it's time to be bullish, you'll have enough time. Trust me. The reason why you're losing you're losing this game is because you're not having the patience to wait. Sometimes they say to you, no trade is better. No trade is better than having any trade, and it's true. Sometimes you just gotta sit out, man. Sometimes, look, you guys have seen it on Twitter, on YouTube, and whatnot. I've been killing the shorts for the last couple of months. It's just shorts, one after another. There's a time like, look, today, I'm not really bothered about the trade. I just want to enjoy the fucking day. But that's better. Oh. Yeah, I just want to enjoy the day, man. There's no need for it to actually to be any stress. And listen, look, there's gonna be a moment to buy. When it does come to buy, we'll buy. Until then, enjoy the day, take it easy, and relax, and learn how to trade. I think that learning how to trade it's the most valuable thing you can do. It helps you guys up, like for yourself as well. Because let's be honest, you can't trust everyone. You can't trust all these so-called trading gurus and crypto gurus. Apparently, they all know everything as well. But let's be honest, they don't. Clearly, they all went quiet. Most of them has gone AWOL. They completely disappeared. So just know. One second. Oh man, I'm smoking. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. What was I saying? Like, yeah, the so-called gurus, innit? And these gurus have disappeared, and now they're disappeared. Who knows where the fucking are? All you see on Twitter is they're saying this is the bottom, or they're making some bullshit comments on tweets, and they don't know what to say. They're saying, oh, like I'm now they start saying, and it's funny how I'm seeing this. You know the macro chart is, right? Like when I say macro chart, it's like they don't trade, they don't draw trades on or charts on like an hourly or whatever. They always go on the daily and the weekly because that's all they can look at because they're not that good. But or the monthly is the common ones that you see, common ones, and then use the BTC index. You know they use that. They're funny they are, but sorry about this. It keeps cutting on and off. I do apologize for that. Okay. Yeah, I was saying that like you get that these guys are gone quiet now. These so-called gurus, right? A lot of them, like if you guys actually watch the SE's review he did yesterday in terms of like looking for plans and whatever, it was a very interesting point of view that he brought across. That these so-called guys are looking beef and whatever and talking a lot of shit, right? They were nowhere to be found. They got into VCs, and it's true. A lot of people got into VC prices. Like they were in VCs and they got into private sale prices. There's nothing wrong in private sales. I've been into private sales myself. I'm not gonna lie about it. But I've seen how it works. And you got all these tokens being unlocked. Like look at Solana. Solana, for example, right? I'm just gonna bring up Solana. I'm just gonna talk about it briefly. Off CoinMarketCap. So CoinMarketCap. There we go. Like Solana right now, I'm looking at it as it is. It's the market cap is at like 3.7 billion, 3.7 billion, right? I mean, I can bring this up, right? Let me just share the screen quickly. 3.7 billion. Look at the market cap there, right? Let's go to all. The all-time high was up at 75 billion. Make sure that we'll back up. It's disconnected. Should be coming back up now. Yeah, we're back up now. Okay, we're back up. Cool. Right. You see, it's what is it's still messing about a little bit. I think I'm gonna end this anyway. Yeah. Okay, okay. I'm gonna end this quite soon anyway. So, just briefly talking about back at when the market cap was back at. Let's look at bringing the market cap overview market cap, bringing back to all. Yeah, back at 75 million. We didn't have 367 million Solana right there, back up there. I don't think we did, right? As the months go by, they're getting unlocked, and each time they're getting unlocked, right? What's happening is they're selling, and they don't care about your pockets, bro. Be very careful about these VCs. Bull run is just a bull run. You play the bull run, and you get out of the bull run. That's all it is. Take your profits every time. Learn from the mistakes you've done in this particular year, right? This year has been a very horrible year for all of us. I know, but just take it easy, one step at a time. What you can do is that you can go back and write down all the information that you've learned. Write it all down on a pen and pad, and literally just focus on what the mistakes you've done in 2022, what you can do to better yourself for the next bull run, and how do you to provide yourself the best opportunity possible. The best way you can do it is literally stay in the market. Stay in the market. Don't leave. Trust me. If you leave and you give up right now, we're coming to the end. We've got like literally 18 months left to go. 18 months is not gonna be long. Trust me, because we've done 12 months of the year already. 2022 is at an end. For most of us, it's over. You're now entered 2023. So on that note, Happy New Year to you guys. Wish you the best of luck. Take it easy, and there's a lot of plays on the upside we can do. there will be a time when we can actually celebrate. Now's not the time to celebrate. Now's not the time to start looking for the bullish momentum. We have our plans. We've done the stream itself, and hopefully this stream itself helps you out going forward in the future and how you actually look at the market. Bear in mind, if you guys want the daily day trades, the daily Daink trades, and whatever that I was doing, and you want to get better and improve your ability of trading, we got the traderdank.com. Sign up to it as well. That's always there for you guys there to actually to improve your skills. I'm there on the Discord. It's a Discord server. We got a massive community actually growing day by day actually, and yeah, man, we can just smash this up and get ready for the bull run in 2024. Take care of you guys. Happy New Year.